Hi, this is David from Cruising Calypso. We're here at Cape Yachts down in Padanaram, and we're going to do a walkthrough on a number of their boats. They have an event today that we will be putting up on our other channels, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be taking a look at several of their boats. They have a Solace, which is a brand new model here, along with several Beneteau models, so come along. We're here with Scott from Cape Yachts, and he's going to point out the highlights of this Solace 34. This is a new model. It is a 34-foot center console, but essentially it's more like 38. As you can see, the boat is very innovative in that it has this large center section between the Yamaha XTOs, and it allows for fishing and water sports out to this bridge, but I'll let Scott demonstrate.
Yeah, the first thing I'm going to show you is the what we call a fish through transom on this boat, and right now I'm just sending out the additional swim platform on the boat. It gives you approximately 2.5 to 3 feet of additional space to walk out here, to swim, to dive, just get additional room on the boat. This is a great boat for divers, great boat for fishermen if you're pulling up a large fish through here.
And this is really an innovative design, Scott, because I don't think we've ever seen this on any center console, to have space between the motors. It not only gives you that space, but as we were talking about earlier, tremendous maneuverability by spacing the motors apart compared to your typical twin installation.
Exactly.
I mean, these have to be probably 6 or 8 feet on center compared to your typical boat, which is probably 3 feet on center. Yeah. So this boat would twist like you read about, you know.
Exactly. It's great for maneuverability. The other nice thing about this is because the engines are all the way out to the sides, the deepest point of your boat is the center point. These engines are actually up above the deepest point, so your draft on this boat is 24 inches with the engines up or down. Your engines are up above the deepest point.
So that makes this boat both, you can get into shallower water, you know, and possibly even maybe bring it up on a beach if you wanted to, yep. You know, because the hull is going to be your deepest point.
Yep.
So as we were walking through, we can see more of how this Solace is laid out.
Yeah, and as you can see with this fish through transom, it just gives you a lot of room out here on the deck. A couple of the other nice features of this boat, we have 2 live wells on the boat, 45-gallon live wells. They are pressurized with tuna tubes.
And what's a tuna tube?
A tuna tube allows you to take a small tuna or skipjack. You can put it face down into the tube, puts a jet of water up through the tuna to keep it alive. So it keeps you stay alive the whole time. Okay. So it's a great feature on this boat for people who are out there going for large fish. Again, on this boat, we have this nice seating area here. We have 2 additional seats that'll fold out, one on each side, one here, one there. You have seating up here. All your cushions are magnetic, so they come off very easily. So they stay in place when you're underway, but very easy to remove. Yeah, and there's storage for them down below. We have a nice summer kitchen under here. And you were saying all of this boat is essentially almost equipped standard. There's a few options on it, probably the electronics, but essentially this is a standardly equipped boat. So you're talking about a very well equipped boat right from the factory. Yeah, basically the way Solace builds their boats, they come basically one way. On this boat here, there are only 2 options on the boat. One is the additional teak that you see on this boat, and additional rod holders. Everything else on this boat is standard equipment, from all the electronics you see, the Seakeeper, the zip wake, 425 engines, everything here is standard equipment on these boats. So for individuals who are interested in a boat like this, this would be in the class of, let's say, a whaler or a pursuit. That's the class of boat that you'd be talking about. A very comprehensive, very serious offshore boat. I mean, at this size, you can really take it out, you know, pretty far, and with this kind of speed, you can get home before the storm comes in. Absolutely. And the other nice thing about it is, this is a boat that'll appeal to anybody. You don't have to be just a fisherman. You can be it's great for entertaining. It's great for diving. It looks like there's enough room for probably 10, maybe 12, depending on how I'm counting the space, and still comfortably, you know,
Yeah.
this will do it. And then you can go for the day, you can cook, and then
Easily get that. Yeah.
so moving on to the helm area.
Up in our helm area, if you're standing at the helm, you get 2 inches of shock mitigating foam as you're standing here. You also have shock absorbing seats. You have all glass panel here.
That's really unusual, by the way, to have those seats. 'Cause I've seen those in sort of utility or military style vessels, but to have that type of a seat is somewhat innovative.
Yeah, it is very nice to have these. You do see these on higher end boats.
And they really take the jounce out of going over the big waves,
Yeah.
and, you know, which can be fatiguing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you spend a day bouncing on that, and you get beat up pretty good.
So yeah, so between the foam and those shock absorbers, you're going to be very comfortable at the end of the day. But up here on the dash, as you see, we have our Seakeeper controls here. We have our 2 screens from the Garmin. The boat comes standard with radar. Comes standard with zip wake.
Wow.
Zip wake control is up here on the dash as well. It does have a joystick controller here as well, so it makes it very easy to dock this boat.
Now, is that joystick? That's a Yamaha.
That is a Yamaha.
Okay, product. Okay. Excellent.
And you have 2 coolers, one on each side. The Yeti coolers is with their dedicated storage.
You know, one of the things that we've always noticed, boats that actually make a space for a cooler rather than having a built-in space, really understand that what people do is they pack up the cooler at home and they bring it on the boat and they slide it in and then they take it home. I mean, yeah, it's a great idea to have a built-in cooler, but I have to tell you, having a space for a cooler is probably more functional than actually having a built-in cooler, because most of us pack up at home and then we bring it on board.
Absolutely, everybody does that. The taco outriggers also are standard on these
The
boats.
taco, wow, good Lord. So if you take a look, and I want to point out as Scott opens this door into the center console, this, I don't think I've ever seen this. Look at this, and I don't know, I guess I would call that a cantilevered hinge, but that is really super yacht stuff. I mean, most hinges are, I mean, they're well built, but the door is just going to open up. This door opens and swings away, so not only can you get access to the console, but you can still walk by, and that is really an innovative feature to have.
Yeah, and having this door set up the way it does, it gave us the ability to make a bigger center, bigger console here. So you're going to get one of the largest.
I'm going to get on board here.
And I've had people stand in here. You got a lot of headroom in here. I've had people who are 6'4" in here, standing in here, no problem.
So there's a berth right here in the forward section of this cabin. There is a vanity with a microwave, and there is a electric marine head, which is, and this is, you think about this, this is a changing space, so this is a large space to change and get comfortable. There is no shower on this boat, but it is an option. You can have the boat equipped if that's what you want, and there is a drain in the floor for that. So this is really a very, I mean, considering the size of the boat, it's a 34-foot boat, you have a lot of space, so you could easily overnight on this boat comfortably, in addition to, of course, being able to just use it for an extended day.
And if you're there for fishermen, you can secure your rods inside here and lock this cabin up.
So that's a nice feature too, is being able to lock your rods and keep them away from prying eyes.
And it does have heat and AC in here as well.
Okay. All right, so now we're all the way forward on the Solace 34.
And again, up here in the bow area, you have more seating. You have your lounger seat up here, and again, this is what they call high density foam. Basically going to kind of form to you as you're sitting in it. Nice feature on this is single-handed access to your storage area. And it'll lift up without having to remove the cushions or anything. And again, just like up on the bow area, the cushions are on magnets.
Again, that's an innovative feature there, because often you have snaps, and you know, snaps last as long as they last, but magnets is probably a better way to go, quite frankly.
Absolutely. And up here in your anchor locker,
and a windlass?
you have an electric windlass, and you have dedicated storage for your fenders here and for your dock lines.
Excellent. Is there a washdown?
There is not on this
Okay,
boat.
okay. I would imagine, given the sort of, I'm not going to say semi-custom nature, but it sounds like for a small company, they're willing to accommodate buyers and dealers, that they would probably, if you wanted a washdown, they would put a washdown in for you.
So remind me again, what was the sort of general price point that this boat is targeted at, roughly? You don't have to.
Retail will probably be in the low to mid sixes.
Okay, so you know, again, if you're looking at a similar size whaler or pursuit, this boat is actually, given its level of equipment and standard features, it's probably going to be a little bit better value than some of those boats. I mean, because it's, you know, this is a high-end boat, but it's equipped as a high-end boat. It's not in these situations where, you know, it's being priced on its name. They're making a name for themselves. So this is an opportunity to get in on a boat that is new, but the legacy of this company is the owner worked at a number of other, or actually owned several other manufacturers that you'd be familiar with, and so has finally built the boat that he wants to build.
Yep.
So
And again, yeah, if you look at comparably equipped boats, you're going to be finding this boat to be of value. You know, boats from Pursuit or other companies like that with the same equipment will come in probably at the same price or maybe even a little bit more than what you'd be paying for this boat.
great. Well, thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
So that's the Solace 34. Come on down to Cape Yachts, check it out. It's here and it's available, but I'm sure it will go quickly. Later.